Hello and welcome to Craft with Sarah. In this video we're going to be using Chameleon heat transfer vinyl from HTVRONT. They were kind enough to send me some of this vinyl for free to show you in the video. It's been so much fun to play with, but before we get into that, what exactly is Chameleon HTV? Well, I'll show you. It is heat transfer vinyl that comes in all kinds of different colours, and then each sheet has lots of hidden colours inside of it, so when the light hits it you can see all different colours within the same piece of vinyl. Now I'm not sure how well it's going to show up on my camera, but this piece here has lots of different blues and purples in it, and it's also got an amazing shine. So depending on the angle at which you look at it, you see it as either blue or purple, and across the whole design it's all slightly different colours, so you get a really nice almost rainbow effect, which is why it's called chameleon vinyl, because it changes colour just like a chameleon. I thought that this vinyl would be perfect for doing mermaid themed crafts, so that's what I'm going to be doing in this video, and I'll also show you how you can customize images in Cricut Design Space. So if you don't want to cut the whole thing how it comes, I'll show you how to cut it apart and just do the bit that you want. You'll also learn how to size things to go on the t-shirt or makeup bag or tote bag or whatever it is that you're putting it on. And you'll be able to see my mistake that I made when putting together my t-shirt. Let's jump into Design Space first though and have a look for some mermaid designs. I've opened up Cricut Design Space, so let's search for the perfect mermaid design. I'm going to be making a t-shirt for a little baby girl, so I want a design that kind of takes that into account. So let's go into images. And I'm going to search for mini mermaid because I know there's an image in there that I really like, and it's this one. So let's click it and then press add to canvas. By default this comes as a set, so you've got Mama Mermaid and Mini Mermaid. I'm only doing a little girl's shirt, so I only want the Mini Mermaid. Unfortunately, by looking at the layers panel, I can see that the colours on each of the designs are joined together as one layer, so I'm going to need to be a little bit creative to split them apart and only cut the Mini Mermaid one. I'm going to start with the pink stars. That'll be the easiest to remove. So let's click the pink stars layer in the layers panel and then go down to the bottom and press contour. Now I can simply click into those three at the top to hide them, click the cross, and now they're gone. The other two are going to be a little bit more complex, and I'm going to slice them apart using the Shapes tool and the Slice tool. First, click the group which contains all of the layers, and then press Ungroup to separate those layers out. I'll start with the text, so I'm going to go into Shapes and choose a square. Click the padlock icon to open it up and then drag it so that it perfectly covers the bit you want to remove. With this layer selected, press Shift on the keyboard and choose the layer with the words on, and then down the bottom press Slice. And that's going to cut the square out. So now I have these two, which was my original rectangle, and my text is now separated, so I can delete that one and that one and that one, and now there's just one more bit left, which is the little water droplets. Let's do the same thing. Go into Shapes and choose a square, take the box on the padlock and then drag it over those parts you don't want. Press Shift on the keyboard and choose the water drop layer, and then press Slice. Delete the three slice results layers we don't want, so that's the top one, and now we just have this left at the bottom. Because I'm using such pretty vinyl, I think it would be a little bit of a waste just to show the outline of these water drops, so I want to fill those in. So let's click the water drop layer and then go into contour again. And this time I'm going to click into the middle of all of these drops and it's going to fill it in, so then they'll be cut from the vinyl. There we are. We're now almost ready to resize this so it's the perfect size to go on the t-shirt. But before we do that, we need to group the layers again. So let's press Select All and then Group. And the reason we group the layers is that now when we resize it, everything changes in proportion and it will stay all aligned how it's supposed to be. I need to measure my t-shirt, so let's see how to do that. Now that I've sorted the design I'm going to use, I need to size it so it'll fit on my shirt. So this is the shirt I'm using. It's got nice long sleeves on it and it has these really cute little ruffles on the sleeves, which are probably going to make it difficult to press, but I really liked the shirt. So this is from Matalan, which is a clothing store in the UK, and it comes in, I think it was a pack of 6 in all different colours. And this particular one is it going to tell me 9 to 12 months is the age on it, and it's 100% cotton. So here is my little baby girl t-shirt, and I'm just going to get my ruler and try and work out the size I want to make this. I have never done a piece of clothing this small before. In fact, I've only ever done one t-shirt at all ever, which is one I made when I first got my Cricut. So this is definitely a learning experience for me. So I'm going to kind of tackle it like how I would do if I was putting something into a shadow box frame, where I'm just kind of looking at the full size and then judging with a ruler how big to make the design in the middle. So because when it's being worn, it'll obviously sort of come out and not be flat against the body, you know, it'll have the body shape in it. I don't want to go too close to the edges because I don't want to be stretching that vinyl too much. So I reckon probably somewhere between 4 and 4.5 inches for the width. So that'll be about that, will probably work. And my design's pretty square, so about 4.5 inches will work well, I think, on that. As I said, this is all new to me, so that might end up being a little bit too big or too small, but that is why we're going to do a test cut before we cut it from the vinyl. Now I know what size to make the design, I can click it and I'm going to make it 4.5 inches in width. So let's type 4.5 in there and then make sure the padlock icon is closed. If it's open, then click it to close it. And then I'll press enter on my keyboard and that will resize, and it's changed the height to in proportion to make sure everything stays as it should. Because I'm new to doing t-shirt designs and especially younger child's clothing, I'm going to do a test cut first to make sure I'm happy with the size. I don't want to waste any of my vinyl for this test cut, so I'm going to cut one from paper. The easiest way I can think to do that is to duplicate this. So here it is. Let's press duplicate to make a copy. And I want to just cut it from one colour of card. So down the bottom of the layers panel, I'm going to press weld, and that will merge this version into one layer. This one for now, I'm going to hide it. So to hide something, click the little eye icon on the layers panel. It's gone very lightly coloured in the layers panel now, but it is still there. And then for this, if I was to just cut this out from paper now, in order to get it onto my shirt just to check the sizing, I'm going to have to manually position each of these letters in place. And I don't want to do that. I want this to be nice and quick. So I'm going to use the offset tool. In offset, give it a fairly thin offset so that it's not too much bigger than your design, but it's big enough that it's joining most of the pieces together, and then press apply. So now I'm going to use this as my test cut from paper. And although it won't be completely accurate, because obviously it is a tiny bit bigger than what the actual design will be, it will still give me a really good idea. So I can cut this out from paper, position it over my t-shirt and check I'm happy with the size before I cut anything out from vinyl. I don't need this layer, so let's just delete that one, and then I'll go ahead and cut this one out from paper. Here is my little test cut on the shirt, and I've done it from yellow just so it's nice and bright so you can see it. And I'm quite happy with the size of that. I think it's nice. It doesn't go too close to the edges, so it's not going to be stretched too much when it's being worn. And of course, remember that my actual design is a little bit smaller than this because this is that offset. So overall, yep, I'm happy with that. Then I'm going to go ahead and cut it out from the Chameleon vinyl. Here is the package I received from HTVRONT. So let's take a little look at what's included. It's all nicely protected in a cellophane bag to keep it nice and safe when it's coming to you in the mail. And then if I bring it out, so I've got a nice little thank you card which has their contact details on. I've got an instruction guide, so this is telling me a little bit about what heat transfer vinyl is, and then how to design it, and remember to flip your design, so that's very helpful. And also the cutting instructions, and then there's some Cricut instructions and Silhouette Cameo instructions. And then on the back are the instructions for how to actually press it and the temperature you need and how long to do it for. So this will be really, really helpful when I come to use it. Now, I've just noticed you can see the reflection of my camera in this. It's so shiny and beautiful. It looks like different colours. So this one is kind of a blue and a purple. I think it's going to be hard to see with my camera lights shining on it, but as I'm turning it, hopefully you can kind of see that sometimes it looks purple and sometimes it looks blue. This is way prettier in real life than it's showing up on my camera. And then also included is a heat protection sheet, so Teflon sheet or similar, which we'll use when we're pressing to protect the heat press. So what I think this design is going to work really well for is anything to do with mermaids or unicorns or magical things, just because this is so pretty and all of the greens and the blues really do give that ocean vibe. Now I know I'm happy with the size, I can click this layer and press delete on my keyboard and then turn on my vinyl layers again by clicking the eye next to it in the layers panel. I've already resized this, so it's good to go ahead and click make it. At this point, it's important to check the instructions on the heat transfer vinyl that you're using. For some, you have to mirror the design and some you don't, so it really depends on the brand that you're using. This particular Chameleon HTV by HTVRONT does require you to mirror. It tells you that on the little bit of paper that it comes with. So, under where it says mirror here, I'm just going to click that on every single colour. And that's going to flip the design. So now it's back to front. And that's because we're actually going to be cutting the vinyl in a way that when it then goes onto our t-shirt, it will show the correct way round. So, super important, check your manufacturer's instructions before you cut it out, because you don't want to cut it out the wrong way. When you're ready, click continue and then it will connect to your Cricut machine and you'll be able to choose the material type. Again, your manufacturer should have included some instructions with your heat transfer vinyl, so in this case I want to set it to everyday iron on. Here are the three colours of the Chameleon heat transfer vinyl that I'm going to use. I've got a green, a blue and a purple, and again you can't see how beautiful these are in the video. I'm going to start with the green one, and I don't want to put the whole sheet onto my cutting mat, so I'm just going to cut a small piece off the top so that I can use that. So I've looked on the screen in Design Space to see how much I'm going to need so that I can cut this to size. I'm just referring to the instructions to see how to cut this vinyl, and it says that you need to do it so that the black side is facing up. So we don't want the pretty green side facing upwards. I'm going to turn it upside down and then put it on my mat this way. I'm lining it up along the top of a light blue Cricut mat and then using a brayer to make sure it's really stuck down. Now I can put it into the Cricut, so let's just slide it under there and press the mat feed button, and then when that's in, let's hit go. Now I have sped this up, sadly Cricut is not this quick, but we can dream, right? So now I can eject the mat, and then the easiest way to take the vinyl off is to turn the mat upside down and peel that away from the vinyl, and then it will come off nice and flat. You can see that it's cut out these spaces, but I have a bit of excess vinyl I'm going to trim away because I might be able to use this little scrap piece in the future for another project. Now I can weed away the excess, and I'm putting it at a 45-degree angle, and it's coming off beautifully. It's just peeling off like butter, and it's leaving all of those little pieces on there that it's cut out. I'm getting ready to press the HTV now, and that was my little mini press beeping to let me know it's heated up. I do have a proper heat press machine, but because of the little ruffles on the sleeves of this, I'm a bit worried that that actually wouldn't work very well, because the top of the plate will get stuck on the seams rather than pressing a nice even print. So because this is quite a small design anyway, I'm going to use the Cricut mini press and see how this goes. Now, I have been doing quite a bit of reading into using heat transfer vinyl. It's something that I want to get into a little bit more. And I did find that you can get pressing pillows which go inside the shirt, and that's a way to kind of overcome the problem of having seams in the way if you're using it in a heat press. But I don't have one of those, so mini press it is. Alright, so I'm just kind of... Oh, I've got it the wrong way round, look. Oh, that was clever. This whole time I've been measuring it the wrong way round. Oh dear. Luckily, I worked that out before I put the vinyl on. Okay, so now that's the right way round. Good start, Sarah. Can I get these little frills in place so I can see where they're going to go? And then roughly line it up so that it's straight. So I'm going to do this first, and it says around 15 seconds and you need to preheat first. So actually I need to take that off and just pre-press this. So this is going to get any moisture out of the fabric and also warm it up a bit and take those creases out. I'm not very good at ironing clothes in general, so I'm probably not going to be very good at this either. But there we go, that's looking much smoother. You can get little tools like rulers that you put across the top to show you if it's straight. I think I might need to invest in one of them. So now I've got my Teflon sheet. I'm not sure if these can be used with the mini press. I'm hoping that they can. If I melt it, you will see in a moment. So I've just put that over the top to protect it, and then I'm going to press it. I might just put that on there. I think that's going to be okay. That was a really stupid idea to just touch it when it was hot, by the way. Don't do that. Now I'm going to press this and keep the mini press moving. And it says it needs around 12 to 15 seconds. But I'll be a little bit longer because obviously I'm moving it so it's not getting that constant heat the whole time. I'm pushing down a little bit, but not very much. Just make sure I get all those swirls on the text and the dots on the eyes. Now this is a cold peel heat transfer vinyl, so I'm going to wait for this to cool down before I take off the plastic. Now it does say cool peel, not cold, so let's give it a go. That looks like it's going to come up nicely. So if it wasn't coming up and it was still stuck to the plastic, then you can just put it down and iron it a little bit longer. But that's all come up pretty perfect. And I don't know if you can see all the changes in the colours. That's so nice. Alright, let's go on with the other colours. This looks amazing just like this, but okay, other colours. So I'm going to do my green next. I can't actually remember where that went. I might just need to dash off and check. I just realised I can actually check it by looking at the cardstock. So I've actually made a little mistake here because I thought that the little stars went in this gap, and actually they're supposed to go above it, so this is probably going to be a bit close to the top now. So I might just change the design a bit to make it so that it's not going too close to the top, and I will put my stars there, and then for my little swirly bits, which were supposed to go like that, I'm going to do it a little bit different. So my top tip for today would be check your design before you start pressing it, just in case you've got things going in the wrong place. But it's still going to look really nice, I think. So I'm just going to cut this so that none of the plastic's overlapping. If it overlaps where there isn't any vinyl, I think that's okay. Alright, so there is my modified design, and I've now got the pink and the green on there. So let's press it. I'm trying not to get the first layer, so the mini mermaid, too much, because that's already been done. Just kind of using the tip of the mini press, so the main base isn't actually touching. It's just the little tip at the front to get these swirls done. Now I'll just go over it with the base a little bit. Alright, so that might not have been enough time. We'll give it a try and see. Oh, it's so pretty. I wish you could see it as I can see it. It looks so nice. Alright, so I need to wait for this to cool down again before I can pull it off. Peeled away really nice. And then I'll do the same. There we go. And then that's going to pull off the bottom bit too. There. Alrighty, that is looking good. So just having a little feel to make sure that it's properly pressed on, which it is. And it's really shiny, and all the colours as they change when they hit the light is just completely beautiful. This is by far the favourite heat transfer vinyl I've ever seen, and I am going to be thinking up some more projects to use this on. It does also come in a permanent vinyl, so an adhesive vinyl, and that would look so good on tumblers or on notebooks. So I think I'm going to have to get myself some of that too. But for now, here is my little finished baby girl t-shirt, and the colours are just dancing in the light. I hope you enjoyed this video on how to use Chameleon heat transfer vinyl in your Cricut projects. If you did, be sure to subscribe because I will be using it again in some more craft projects in the next few weeks. Thank you very much for watching. Bye!